Hello and welcome to Sudoku Pro.
This is a 3-star puzzle from today's Hindu. Let's get started. Let's start from column 4. There is 2 and 4 which blocks these 3 cells of column 4. So 2 and 4 has to be in B4 and H4. There is a 2 blocking this cell. So H4 takes 2 and D4 takes 4. Now there is a 7 here in A row and a 7 in C row which blocks these two cells. So B4 takes 7. Now the missing number is 1 is actually missing. There is a 1 in A row, so 1 goes here in C4. Now the only missing number is 9. So A4 takes 9. Now we can fill column 6 also in the same pattern. There is a 3 and 8 which blocks these 3 cells. So 3 and 8 has to be in these two cells F6 and B6, but you can see 3 here in B row which blocks here. So B6 takes 8 and F6 takes 3. Now the balance numbers are 1, 6 and 7. In G row you can see 1 and 6 blocking this cell. So G6 takes 7. Now the remaining numbers are 1 and 6. There is a 6 here in I row. So I6 takes 1 and H6 takes 6. In block 2, there are only 2 missing numbers and the numbers are 3 and 6. You have 6 and 3 here. So accordingly, B5 takes 6 and A5 takes 3. This 1 and 5 in block 1 blocks these 3 cells. So in B row, 1 and 5 can be only in these 2 cells, that is B7 and B8. There is a 2 here in C row which blocks these 2 cells. So 2 has to be in one of these cells. There is a 2 here in column 8 which blocks here. So A9 takes 2. In A row, there are only 2 missing numbers and the numbers are 4 and 8. There is 8 blocking from here. So A8 takes 4 and A1 takes 8. We know that 1 and 5 goes in these 2 cells. Now if you see 8 blocks these 3 cells and there is 8 here which blocks the cell. So in column 7, 8 goes here in H row. Now there is a 1 here in this block which blocks all these cells, all these 3 cells. There is a 1 here in G row which blocks this cell. So in column 7, this is the only cell, that is B7 is the only cell where 1 can be. So let's eliminate 5 and 1 goes in B7 and 5 goes in B8. Now in this block 3, there are only 2 missing numbers. The numbers are 8 and 9. There is 8 here. So C9 takes 8 and C8 takes 9. In C row, there are 2 empty cells and the missing numbers are 3 and 6. There is a 6 here in column 3 blocking. So C2 takes 6 and C3 takes 3. Let's try to fill the 6th block. There is a 9 in D row. There is a 9 here in column 8 and column 7 which blocks these 2 columns and this cell. So E9 takes 9. There is a 6 in D row, 6 in F row. There's also 6 here in column 7 and column 9, which blocks this entire column, this row and this row. So E8 takes 6. There is a 4 in D row and F row, which blocks these two rows. So E7 takes 4. There is a 3 here in F row and a 3 in column 9, which blocks these three cells. So D7 takes 3. There is a 2 here in the ninth block, which blocks these two cells. So in column 7, this is the only cell where 2 can be. Now in this block, there are only 2 empty cells and the missing numbers are 5 and 7. There is 5 here in column 8, which blocks this cell. So F8 takes 7 and D9 takes 5. Let's try to fill D row now. There is a 1 here in column 2 and a 1 in column 3, which blocks these two cells. So in D row, 1 can be only in D5. Now there are 2 empty cells and the missing numbers are 2 and 7. There is a 7 here in column 3. So D2 takes 7 and 2 goes in D3. In the central block, there is only 2 empty cells and the missing numbers are 7 and 8. There is a 7 here in F row, so E5 takes 7 and F5 takes 8. In F row, there are only 2 missing numbers, that is 5 and 9. There is a 5 here in column 1, so F1 takes 9 and F3 takes 5. Now let's fill this E row. There is a 1 in column 2 here and a 1 in column 3, which blocks these two cells. So E1 takes 1. Now the missing numbers are 3 and 8. There is a 3 here in column 3, which blocks the cell. So 3 goes in E2 and 8 goes here in E3. In column 9, there are 2 empty cells and the missing numbers are 4 and 7. Since we do not have clues of 4 and 7 here, let's keep it as small numbers. In column 7, the missing numbers are 5 and 8. There is a 8 here in G row. So G7 takes 5 and H7 takes 8. The missing numbers in column 8 are 1 is missing, 1 is here in G row blocks here. So 1 goes in H8. Then the only missing number now is 1, 2, 3 is missing. So 3 goes here in G8. In G row, the missing numbers are 2 and 4. There is a 4 here in F row. So G2 takes 2 and G1 takes 4. So in this block 1, there are 3 empty cells and the missing numbers are, let me write here, 2 is missing, 4 is missing and 9 is also missing. Now you have 4 and 9 in column 1 here. So B1 takes 2 and now the missing numbers are 4 and 9. There is a 4 blocking from here. So B2 takes 9 and B3 takes 4. Now the only missing number in column 3 is 9. The only missing number in column 1 is 7. In column 2, the missing numbers are 5 and 8. There is a 8 blocking from here. So H2 takes 5 and I2 takes 8. So this 7 here in I1 cancels out the 7 here. So I9 takes 4 and I8 becomes 7. So in this block, there is only 2 empty cells and the missing numbers are 4 and 5. There is 5 here. So H5 takes 4 and I5 takes 5 and the puzzle is solved.